Hey there, James wrote Need computer help. Always fantastic to see you through the camera lens, and today is no exception. What a little hurricane this week. Hurricane Nicholas moved through the Houston area on Tuesday of this week, and for the most part, most of us had some wind and a lot of rain. My area had some trees down closer to the bay. There was some coastal flooding, but nothing major, nothing like we've seen in past storms like Harvey or Ike, for example. But it's a good reminder when you have a storm like this. It's incredible after an Ike how tuned in people get to disaster recovery and business continuity. But as that time wanes, it's so easy to get complacent to that. So maybe this week could be a nudge for some of us to really, make sure we're on top of our game with business continuity plans and testing and we're prepared. I've worked a number of these storms being in the industry for longer than I'll admit on the camera lens. And one of the things I see all too often is first off, an untested environment, and second off, not really thinking through what happens after a major event like this. And what happens, which if we've been through and we know this, is we enter a period of days, weeks, months where our teams are displaced, where their homes may be damaged, where they may not have power, we may not have cell signal, we may not have internet. Strange things like this happen after these storms, and we really don't take stock in how we're going to operate our business as seamlessly as realistically possible. And that's a complicated sentence, but I think it goes without saying we're not going to just wake up the day after a Hurricane Ike, for example, or a Katrina, for example, and just operate out of hotel rooms or disaster recovery rental space that we've previously engaged or an executive suite or a library. We're not going to just wake up the next day and operate like normal, but how will we operate? So do we have the infrastructure in place? Are we, maybe we're taking a backup and moving it off premise, but how will we access that backup? How will our entire team work against that backup? Are we on a cloud infrastructure where we can just go work in a coffee shop or a library or wherever we may be able to get power and internet reasonably seamlessly, or are we looking at restoring to a DR environment? So it's just a great time to kind of think about this. I'm optimistic that we have a cold front coming next week. This storm is through, and those two things should, knock on wood, knock knock knock, those two things should signal the end of this year's hurricane season, but it's never too early to start prepping for next year. So, food for thought today. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you and your family stayed safe and dry during this event, and look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Have a good one. Bye bye.